Peace and light, family. I hope that y'all are well. I'm over here chilling, burning a little sage and relaxing. Here goes some sage for you. I really wanted to go live to answer a lot of the questions that I get about locks. I went live earlier on my Instagram because I was going through some of my Instagram DMs, which I have really been making a conscious effort of responding to messages and emails as much as I can and catching up with everything. I have over 2,000 something unread messages on Instagram. So I was trying to go through and respond to DMs. And I noticed that a lot of the DMs are questions about locks. And I recognize that most of my following comes through from lock questions. I hope that y'all can hear me because I got these headphones and I normally don't go live with headphones and stuff like that. But yeah, I got these headphones in, so I hope that y'all can hear me pretty well. But I just really wanted to, respond to like a lot of the questions that I get about locks. And I feel like because we are now in quarantine, and a lot of folks don't know what to do with their hair, a lot of people are considering getting locks. So I'm getting even more questions about locks and even more questions about, should I start locking? I'm thinking about locking. I'm noticing that like a lot of my lock videos are getting a lot more hits than they normally do, which I recognize that most people found me through Freeform locks. Most of my subscribers come from Freeform locks. And speaking of that, most of my subscribers, y'all, so I'm almost at 4,000, which is like, wow, I'm very grateful for that. Hey, Bella, I'm very grateful for that, and I appreciate that. But yeah, so I just really wanted to respond to most of my live questions. I'm actually going to go ahead and set up my tripod because I just realized I'm not going to want to hold this phone the whole time. Y'all see my room? I don't think I ever showed y'all my whole room. This is I got this. I'm a doula for those of y'all who don't know. Hey, how you doing? I'm a doula for those of y'all who don't know. So that's where that comes from. That came from my doula coach who got it in Bali. I'm burning sage, that's why you see the smoke. But she got that in Bali and she gave that to me before I actually went to Bali myself. She was trained in Bali, and the place that she was trained at is where I ended up going to in Bali. Hey, Tess. So Tess was on my live early on Instagram where I talked about a lot of lock questions. I'm gonna keep my headphones in just because I don't feel like having to talk that loud. Okay. I hope that's set up pretty well. I hope y'all can see me pretty good. If not, we're gonna have to work it out. Okay. But yeah, I just really wanted to respond to a lot of the questions and stuff like that I get about locks. Like I said, I've been getting a lot more hits on my lock videos and a lot more questions specifically about locks. And I guess it's because we are in quarantine, so a lot of people are thinking about what they should do with their hair, and a lot of people are considering locking. So getting started right now while I'm in quarantine, I'm doing the same stuff, the same routine with my locks that I always do. I do wear glasses, y'all, for those who don't know. I do wear glasses. But yeah, I've been doing the same things with my locks that I always do. I've been keeping them clean, washing them, but really just letting them hang free more than I normally do. I've really been trying to reduce the amount of head wraps I wear because I have been noticing some thinning along my edges from wearing head wraps so much. So I have been trying to reduce it. And thankfully, because I haven't been going out like that, it hasn't been a need for me to wrap up my locks like that. But as far as washing it, I've been doing a lot more herb rinses. Not so much the Castile soap because I'm not going out like that. Hey, Deborah, I'm not going out like that. So I haven't been doing the Castile soap as much. More or less just the herb rinses just to keep it clean. For the herb rinse, my main thing that I love to use in my herb rinses is rosemary. That's one of my main things I love to use. Fresh peppermint leaves I like to put in there. Eucalyptus I like to put in there. And I bring it to a steam, not a boil, but a steam. When you bring it to a boil, you boil the nutrients out of the herbs. So you just want to steam it. And then I let it cool down and I rinse my locks with that. I strain it and then I rinse my locks with that. If you don't strain it, you'll have little bits of herbs all through your locks. So I rinse my locks with the herb water. I'll cleanse my scalp with witch hazel. So I posted a growth formula on my Instagram page and on my YouTube page today with like a recipe of oils that I use to grow my hair. Something I talked about on my Instagram live earlier was I did experience some thinning in my locks back in 2015. So very early in my lock journey, I was diagnosed with lupus, and the side effect of lupus is thinning hair. So I do have to constantly make sure that I use that very same formula that I posted with the Jamaican black castor oil, peppermint oil, tea tree oil, eucalyptus. I have to use that in order to keep my hair thick and prosperous. I notice, and also, I always tell y'all about making sure you maintain a healthy diet and drink water, because I notice that if I don't, then my hair starts to thin easily. So I have to constantly making sure that I'm eating right, eating well. Like today I had salad, and that was my dinner for today. Making sure I drink plenty of water, and just keep a healthy diet to keep good, healthy, strong locks. But yeah, so while in quarantine, I haven't been doing any deep cleanses simply because I haven't been going outside like that. And when I do go outside, I still wrap up my locks. If I do go outside, or I'll wear a hat and have my locks covered up when I go outside. So they haven't had like access to debris and pollution and all that other stuff. So just the herb rinse, using the growth oil formula that I posted. I put in the thing. I said, please don't Madam CJ Walker my shit. Don't steal it and be selling it, y'all. But I just posted it for the love so that y'all could utilize it. A lot of people reached out to me. There was one sister who reached out to me, and her locks was thinning real bad. And that's my sister. That's the formula that you can use to grow your locks. Also, still using my aloe vera. Y'all know I'm dedicated to my aloe for my skin as well as for my locks. I don't use no conditioner in my locks. I don't use any conditioner. Aloe vera only. Fresh aloe vera is the only thing I use in there. And that's really it. That's what I've been doing to maintain my locks so far at night. Sometimes I wrap them up, but I told y'all I got a satin pillowcase. So, I don't always wrap my locks up because I have a satin pillowcase. I noticed too that a lot of people send me pictures and stuff like that of their locks. And y'all, I got satin sheets, so I'm sliding off my own damn bed. Y'all see me keep trying to lift up. But a lot of people send me pictures and stuff of their locks, and they want to know like, oh, do my locks look good? Do they look like they are progressing well? And I will say this, that it's difficult for me to tell you whether or not your locks look healthy if I don't know your hair. So if I don't know how your hair grows when it's loose natural, meaning like afro or whatever, if I don't know how your hair grows when it's loose natural and what your regular hair texture is and how quickly it grows and what your regular hair pattern is, it's difficult for me to tell you if your locks are growing. So if you do choose to send me photos of your locks and you want to know if they're doing well, you have to send me photos of your hair before you started locking, so I could know if it's progressing well or not. And then also just be mindful that everybody lock journey is different. I see some people be like, oh, your hair goals and stuff like that, which I understand what they're saying, but at the same time, I advise people to not have other people as hair goals, because I don't want you to ever be disappointed in how your locks show up, whether if it's the thickness or the length or whatever. I've been locking for 5.5 years. I started from bald and I'm down here. It's a little bit, I said in my last one, it's like a lower back length, like upper lower back length, if that makes sense. I don't know. But like I said, I could reach back and touch my locks. But yeah, they grew pretty quickly. But at the same time, my hair may grow quickly for different reasons other than, than what other people does. How does Freeform automatically separate the locks individually like yours? So your hair naturally separates. All hair naturally separates, no matter what texture. It'll naturally separate. The mine separated smaller because I started from bald. So anybody who starts very low, I have a friend right now who she has a TWA. She cut her hair into a TWA. She didn't start from bald, but she had like a 2 or 3 inch afro that she started from, really like 3 or 4 inch afro that she started from. So this is also her second set of locks. So her first set was much thicker. Now this set, when you start low, you'll notice that you get coils, like small coils, and your locks naturally separate like that. So my locks are smaller. Well, I have a variety of sizes, but I have some smaller locks like this, and then I have some thicker ones. I have some medium sized ones. My locks are all different sizes and shapes. I got some flat locks. I got some round locks, but that's because I started from bald. So my hair naturally coiled off and separated from there. Thank you so much. I love you too. My hair started separating from the coils and locking like that. So your hair will naturally separate. But if you start from an afro, your hair is gonna congo up and you're gonna have thicker locks because you have more hair that is matting together. So if you start, the lower you start, the smaller your locks will likely to be. How you doing? Hey, Steph. It's likely to be smaller. So if you want smaller locks, I advise that you start from scratch. You know what I'm saying? And if not, then separate. You know, you could say if you want to start from a fro, but you want smaller locks, separate. I know people who two strand twist. Like, see, this is one of my smaller locks, and then right by it, I got this lock right here that's a little thicker than this one. Um, but yeah, I got all different size locks. I got some thinner ones, I got some thicker ones, I got some 2 and 3 headed dragons and all kind of stuff. But you could separate your locks. If you have an afro and you want them to be skinnier, just separate your locks. Or you start out with 2 strand twists or start out with cultivated locks and do freeform after that once you have your desired size. Like I said, with the whole freeform, semi-freeform thing, that really don't matter. Like it don't, it doesn't matter. I do know a lot of people who are like, well, I want to be a free former. I want to be a natural free former. You got to do what's going to make you happy. Don't just free form because you want to free form, but then you end up unhappy with the size of your locks. You said 2 strand twisted my hair 10 days ago, so I want to semi free form. Okay, Tess. And so what you could do is, since you 2 strand twisted your hair, as you progress, like as you wash your hair and stuff, you just make sure you separate to maintain that size. Because if you free forming, when you wash your hair is naturally gonna come together. So you're gonna end up with 2 headed dragons, 3 headed dragons, and stuff like that. If you don't want that and you want to maintain that size the whole time, even through free forming, separate. It's a lot of people who do that. A lot of famous like free formers who do that. I don't know her name off top, but she's a light skinned sister. She real well known. Y'all probably know her name. She's real well known, beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous sister. She's real well known for freeform locks, but she separates. She started out with 2 strand twists. I'm not sure if a lot of people know that or if she told that, but she started out with 2 strand twists. You could look and tell. And then she started freeforming from there, but she's very well known in the freeform community. I'm not sure what her name is. She used to have a different name and then she changed her name. I think she joined a Source set and changed her name after that. But she's a beautiful girl. You could type in freeform locks and I'm sure she'll pop up. She's been on a journey for years, but she started out like that and she just separates to maintain the size of her locks. So you can do that. But see, people also ask me they want flat locks. So flat locks, I got some flat locks in here. So flat locks are basically like this where, I don't know if y'all can see that, but this is the side view of the lock. And then this is the front of the lock. But it's pretty much, you see how it's flat? A lot of people want flat locks. I have some flat locks. I have some round locks. This lock is a bit rounded. This is like a semi-flat, semi-round. You see the size of it. Some people want flat locks. If you want flat locks, something that you have to do is keep your locks tied down. So if you want a head full of flat locks. So I know a couple people who are striving for flat locks, and what they do is, that's her name, Torin Guy. I think that is her name, Torin Guy. Taryn Guy. Yeah, a set equals Taryn Guy. Yeah, I think that's her name. That's her name before she converted to a Source set. A Source set is an African traditional religion. I think that's her name before she converted to a Source set. But the sister is gorgeous, and that's how she started her lock. She 2 strand twisted and then started separating after that. But yeah, for people who want flat locks, for people to cultivate the flat lock look, they just keep their locks tied down real tight all the time, especially when they first start their journey. So they'll keep them tied tight, like where a lot of head wraps and stuff like that. You'll notice like a lot of rosters who keep how a lot of rosters keep their locks wrapped up. Depending like Bobo Shanti. So if you Bobo Shanti roster, they keep their locks tied up a lot, and you'll notice that a lot of Bobo Shanti roster have their locks flat because they keep them tied up so much. So if you're striving for the flat lock look, that's something that you could do is keep your locks tied down, and it'll make them flat all the time. She just combed them out not too long. She combed out her freeform locks. No, I ain't know that. Not no, like, oh, she shouldn't have did that, but I just ain't know that. Does freeform locks lock faster than cultivated locks? Uh, I really can't say which one locks faster. I can't say which one locks faster simply because I feel like the journeys are so different. Because with cultivated locks, they go through that 90-day period in the very beginning where they can't wash their hair. or just so that they don't lose the pattern. So hey Xavier, I'm well. How you doing? So I can't really say like which one locks faster or not. I know for freeformers, like with my journey, it was a year before I actually like other people was able to see like, oh, you're locking your hair. But I also have I consider my hair texture like 3C 4A. So with my hair, that's why I was saying like if you send me pictures of your locks and you want me to tell you if your locks are healthy, I also have to see your hair loose natural to be able to see what is your natural pattern. So my natural hair like curl texture was like a curly. I had like a very loose coil of hair. So it took me about a year before I saw progress. Now my friend who I just told y'all about that cut her hair, you can kind of tell that she's locking her hair, and it's only been about 6 months maybe since she started freeforming, and you can already tell. But she has 4C hair, so with freeforming, how fast your hair locks truly depends on the texture. I always say, for my people, my brothers and sisters who have really, really coarse hair, you are a better freeform candidate, and your locks will lock faster and usually grow faster as well, because your hair is being left alone. Oftentimes, people with kinkier hair, work would have to do more to maintain their hair when they're loose natural, so they detangle more often and all that stuff. So it's a lot of like, working with your hair and bothering your hair. When your hair is left alone, you'll notice it starts to grow real, real fast. So my brothers and sisters with 4B, 4C hair, when you go to start locking, you gonna notice that number one, your locks lock real fast, and then they gonna grow super duper quick. And you see more progress than someone with a 4A or 3C or 3B type hair. Let me go back and read some more of your comments. Um, okay, hold on. Oh, from Angola, Africa. Oh, much peace to you, Isis from Angola. Oh, I want to go to Angola so bad. I swear I do. That's like on my list. I actually want to do another live, y'all, about the answering the question, because I got this question and I was talking to my sister circle last night. We did like a whole FaceTime date, and the question is, should Black people go back to Africa? And it's a very interesting conversation. We ended up having like a 7-hour conversation about it. And as y'all know, I traveled around. I've been to West Africa, Ghana. I went to South Africa, literally. I've been to East Africa, Ethiopia, Egypt. And my experience in every country and every side has been different. Yeah, so I want to like have that conversation with the family about that. Um, Okay, you said I want to freeform, do the thin and loose hair. I love letting it go free, frizzing it everywhere. The best hairstyle I ever had in my 48 years. Absolutely. And that's another thing. Like people, if your hair is thinning, please use that growth formula. Like I said, I struggled with thinning hair due to my lupus. I struggled with, I don't even like saying my lupus due to the lupus. I struggled with thinning hair for a while. And that growth formula helped me a lot. So if your hair is thinning, if you are struggling with like how fast your hair grows and you feel like it's not growing fast enough, use that growth formula and you'll see a big difference. You only need to use it like once or twice a week though, because it's very strong. You'll notice that when you put it on, it's very strong. You'll feel your scalp tingling and stuff. You massage it in. It's not something that you want to use every single day. And then please definitely put that lavender oil or whatever is your favorite scent of essential oil. Because the tea tree, eucalyptus, and peppermint is strong, okay? You'll be walking around here smelling like you used the whole jar of sulfur 8. Yeah, that tea tree ain't no game. You started from bald head, had coils, then started congoing together. Oh, okay. Yes, so your coils started congoing together, now they're flat. Yeah, so that happens too. You say you won't send your comment. So that happens too. Like you'll start out with small coils and they'll start to come together. So something I was talking about in the last slide, actually I see one right here where you could see where how all of my locks started out real tiny like this. And then some of them started coming together and becoming two-headed dragons. This is actually now I think a three-headed dragon. Yeah, like that. So you see, they all started out tiny, tiny, tiny like this from when they was small coils, and then they started going together. I didn't separate. Whatever wanted to marry, married, and whatever didn't, just didn't. So I just let them come together, and a lot of them are still marrying. Like I got this one right here. It's one of my lot. I think it's this one on this side over here, where this one. So this is when it was started out, this was two locks. Then this became a two-headed dragon. This always has been a very one of my tiniest locks. But now these two have come together and they are congoing together. Let me move this. They are congoing together. I don't know if y'all could see that, but you see they're connected. See, they're connected like that. So it's like some thin pieces of hair, but you see it's connected by that one thick piece. So I already know that those is Congo, and they're going to stay. And I'm not going to separate them. They're going to do whatever they do. But then you see how, okay, now look, boom. So you see this is connected together. But look, these are connected too. But I know that this is going to separate on its own because look, it's only connected by one little piece of hair. So eventually that's going to pop and they're going to separate on their own. So I'm not worrying about that staying connected forever. That's not something that I would even separate. My philosophy is this. If they want to marry, they're going to marry. If not, they're going to separate. And that's a part of freeforming for me. Like, I don't really bother to separate like that. I feel like if they want to marry, they're going to marry. If not, they'll separate on their own. And I just let them do their own thing. Can you replace the Jamaican black castor oil for something else? I honestly wouldn't recommend that. So the beauty of Jamaican black castor oil, and if you don't have access to it, you could buy it off Amazon. I use, I think the brand is called Sunny Owl, Jamaican black castor oil, but that's the only brand I really use. I've tried others, but I find that it's watery. You want to get the real thick formula. Excuse me. The beautiful thing about Jamaican black castor oil is that it thickens up your hair real quick. It's very thick. It is. It's very, very thick, but it works well. It gives you a beautiful shine. It moisturizes your hair, but then it really helps thicken up your hair. Like you could really use Jamaican black castor oil by itself, and you'll start to see a difference. That's an old school formula for strengthening hair follicles and strengthening bonds. So you definitely wanna, wanna use that. Oh, greetings from Jamaica. Much love to Jamaica. I love Jamaica. That's one of the spots. You're a month into your freeform journey, but you're having a problem with dryness and mainly use water and organic hair butter. Organic hair butter, like what? Like, is it shea butter? Honestly, y'all, I'm not a huge shea butter fan. Haitian castor oil, yes, Haitian castor oil is good too. I like Haitian castor oil. I prefer Jamaican black castor oil. I like Haitian castor oil, but I prefer, yeah, wild growth oil is a nah for me. That's a nah for me. I'm not a big wild growth oil fan. I didn't see, I used it for a long time and I didn't really notice a difference like that. So I'm not a big wild growth oil fan. So you said you mainly use water. I'm talking about Melissa Morgan. You said you mainly use water and organic hair butter. Once again, shea butter has been proven to not be best for the hair. Shea butter is good for the body, but for the hair, absolutely not. Don't use shea butter in your hair. I wouldn't recommend. A lot of people heat it up and warm it up and use it as like conditioner and stuff like that. Don't do that. Shea butter is really not that good for your hair. For your body, great. But for your hair, nah. And shea butter also clogs your pores in your scalp, causing your hair to not grow. So that's another thing you got to be mindful of. And that's why I said with the hair growth formula, it's not something you want to use too often. And that's why I also said to clean your scalp with witch hazel before you apply it, because you want to clear your pores. So oftentimes we put like moisturizers and oils and stuff like that in our hair, but we got to realize that we got pores. And like it said, think about your face, where you got pores on your face. If you just constantly put in oil, you're going to have a bunch of breakouts. We wash our face multiple times a day, or at least twice a day. I hope once or twice a day, depending on whatever your routine is. But you wash your face on a daily basis because you don't want your pores to clog up. We don't wash our hair on a daily basis. Most black folks wash our hair maybe once a week, twice a week, or once every other week, some people. So you got to be mindful about how much oil and stuff you're putting on your scalp. It's no different from your skin. You'll clog your pores and then your hair won't grow, and then you wondering why your hair is not growing or why your hair is breaking off. It's because you putting too much product in your hair. So as a freeformer, the best thing you could use is water on a daily basis. That's the only thing you should be putting on your hair on a daily basis, and not to drench it. But I always say, for me, like when I use the bathroom and I wash my hands, instead of drying my hands on the towel, I'll just run my hands through my locks. Like that little bit of excess water that's on your hands, just running through your locks. You got to treat your locks like a plant. So you want to water them daily. Put a little bit of water on there every day just to moisturize them. Rub a little bit of water on your scalp every day just to moisturize it. You know what I'm saying? I don't cover my locks when I get in the shower. I put them up in a high bun, but I like for that steam to be able to get into my scalp and open up those pores and give them a chance to breathe. So, just like that steam treatment is great for your hair. So when you take them hot showers, don't cover your hair necessarily. Keep it open and allow that steam to get to your hair and to moisturize your hair and open up those pores. But try to minimize how much product, how much oil you put in on your scalp and put it on your hair. Don't oil your hair every day. Don't oil your scalp every day because you don't want to clog your pores, and then you'll start to see your hair is not necessarily growing the way it should be, or when it's growing, it's breaking off very easily. So just be mindful of that. Oil your hair maybe once or twice a week. If you are noticing that you're struggling with dryness a lot, Jamaican black castor oil or avocado oil. Avocado oil is my favorite right now. That's like my go-to oil. And I just put that directly on my locks on a regular basis. Like maybe once a week, I'll put avocado oil on my locks. It leaves a beautiful shine, beautiful moisture. It's like thick. It's thicker than olive oil. It's thicker than like most of your traditional oils, but it's still not as thick as Jamaican black castor oil, which is very heavy and very thick. So that's why I was saying with the hair growth formula, use it, but don't use it too much because that Jamaican black castor oil is very thick. Shea butters and cocoa butters and all that stuff is not good because those are too heavy. That's too much on the scalp. So you got to think about it like I said, like your face. You put too much shea butter on your face, so you put shea butter on your face, don't wash it and put more shea butter on, you're going to have a breakout. You know what I'm saying? So your scalp is no different. And then also just clean your scalp with the witch hazel. You could Google the benefits of witch hazel on the hair. Witch hazel is a gentle cleanse, okay? So you want to make sure that you are clean. You could take a Q-tip, or you could take a washcloth or something, put a little bit of witch hazel and just gently run it through, like part your locks and just run it through your scalp. You could also just put a little bit on your finger and just go through and rub it through your scalp and cleanse off your scalp, just to, cleanse off the excess oil before you apply your next round of oil. He said, my husband and I started our locks 3 years ago. The best decision. Absolutely. Locks, hands down, is the best decision. You see now they got that little meme or whatever they talking about. What's the best hairstyle to have in quarantine? Locks. Because I just told y'all we ain't got to worry about none of that. We ain't panicking about, I can't get my hair done and all that stuff. We not worried about that. You learned the hard way, listening to everyone. Now keep it simple. Water. Yep. Castor oil. And every now and again, tea tree oil, absolutely, for itchy scalp. Yeah, that tea tree is no game. If you struggle with like a lot of dryness or itchy scalp, that tea tree oil will cure that quickly. Quickly. Now, only thing about tea tree oil is I'm telling you, you'll walk around here, the smell is a lot for me. I always have to cut that smell. And lavender oil, the reason I put lavender oil is because I feel like lavender oil is so powerful. If you have a good pure one, it's so powerful that it cuts the smell of anything to me. Sometimes y'all, like, Hope, I see that you put a comment and YouTube retracted it. Sometimes YouTube retracts comments and stuff. I don't know, like, what's their stipulations or rules. People are I would have to leave out of this to see what the comment was. But people put comments that's not inappropriate at all, and sometimes they'll retract the comments. I don't know why they do that, but I'm sorry, Hope. I can't see what your comment says. Great day. Hey, Nene Johnson. You just started Freeform a month ago. Started using rose water. Oh, yes. Rose water, that's another one, y'all. So my aunt has sister locks, and she put me on to rose water. Rose water is, so when I do my herb rinses, I put dry rose petal as a part of my herb rinse. So I told y'all I love putting rosemary as a great cleanser, some eucalyptus, some peppermint, dry rose petals. So you can make your own rose water by using rose petals. You could put a couple drops of lemon in there if you want to. That's another thing I add to my herb rinses. And I put rosemary, peppermint, eucalyptus. And that's my herb rinse that I do for my locks. Rose water is straight up magic, Nene. Thank you for bringing that up and mentioning that. I love rose water. Okay, let me go down. Is it better to mix the oil and water together? Does it take to the hair better? For me personally, I'll moisturize my hair with water first and then put the oil on there. Oil is really like a sealer. So the water moisturizes it. The oil seals the moisture into your locks. more than anything. So you could use the rose water, you could do the herb rinse, and then, or you could just wet your hair a little bit, like I said, with your hands with pure water, and then you put the oil on after. And it's like, it's a miracle, I'm telling you. Oh, vitamin E is good too. Rose water and vitamin E mixed together, that's good. That's my aunt little formula that she used for her sister locks because it's very light. So people out there who got sister locks, you know that you can't put too much oil and stuff on your locks because it can be too heavy and it'll weigh your locks down. So my aunt just uses straight up rose water and vitamin E oil, and that's it. But she do, her locks be struggling sometimes. So I think she need to add a little bit more. But to each his own. Um, it says I'm a little low. Turn up the speaker. Okay, maybe I need to say I might have to take my headphones out. Am I low for y'all? I might have to take my headphones out. I was trying to keep my headphones in because without the headphones, I'll be feeling like I have to yell. But I'll take them out. Real quick, what you recommend for face? Oh, for face. So I have a skincare routine that I put up. Let me take the headphones out. Hold on. Okay. Can y'all hear me better? I hope y'all can hear me better. But for face, so I have a skincare routine that I have out. And for my skin, I just use baking soda and turmeric. So that's my little formula for my skin. I have very, very sensitive skin. I'll take my glasses off so y'all can see. But you see my face? I have very, very sensitive skin. You see right now I got a little bump over here. But so I have really like had to transform my skin. When I say my skin is sensitive, y'all gotta put my glasses back on because I ain't gonna be able to see nothing, But I have had to really transform my skin and work hard on my skin from the time I was young. Puberty hit me like a ton of bricks, baby. Like a ton of bricks, okay? So I tried everything from all the like Noxzema and Cetaphils and all that stuff to Proactive. I was using Proactive at one point and none of that stuff worked. Proactive actually burnt my skin off. And then I also used to be a face picker when I was younger. So I would like pick my skin real bad and I would have like real bad scabs and stuff. I got pictures to prove all this stuff. I had like real big scabs and stuff on my face. So I used to have like a lot of marks and all kind of like my skin used to be crazy. But I always like as I got older, I realized that natural stuff works best for me. My body does not respond well to chemicals, whether if it's in food, it's what I'm putting on my skin, what I'm washing my hair with, none of that. My body does not respond well to chemicals and my skin is just very sensitive. So I do not wear makeup. I don't wear no foundation. I don't wear none of that stuff. I can't do it. The reason I can't do it is because once again, my skin is sensitive. I would love to be the whole face. I think makeup is gorgeous and beautiful. When sisters do it well, I love it. I think it's so creative. It's such an art, but I just can't do it. I've tried hypoallergenic stuff, mascara, all that stuff. I always end up getting bumps and styes and all that. So what I realized after trying a bunch of different natural remedies, what works best for me is I get a small 69-cent box of baking soda and I put that in an old Talenti's jar. I put about 2 to 3 tablespoons of pure ground turmeric. I mix that together. Baking soda has so many benefits. It's an anti-inflammatory, so it gets rid of bags. I used to struggle with bags under my eyes real bad. And I don't have that problem no more. It's still a little dark under there. But I don't have the problem with bags and stuff no more. But it's really just because of the baking soda. So it helps lighten up dark circles. It helps even out the skin tone. So you'll see I don't really have acne scars and stuff like that like I used to. It helps, the turmeric helps brighten up the skin. It gives you that golden glow. So the beauty of the baking soda is if you struggle with the acne scars, you struggle with a lot of inflammation on the face, a lot of easy bruising from bumps and stuff like that, that baking soda knocks all that out. It also closes the pores to prevent excess bacteria and stuff from getting into your skin. So baking soda is a plus, and the turmeric just gives you that even tone and golden glow. So the little small 69-cent box of baking soda, I mix the turmeric, about 2 to 3 tablespoons of the fresh ground turmeric, and I get fresh pure turmeric, and I put that in there, shake it up, and I use that in the morning and at night. Oh, you're welcome, no problem. I do that in the morning and at night, and then to moisturize my face, I use pure aloe vera. I use the whole leaf. the whole leaf aloe vera. I don't use none of the bottle aloe, none of that stuff. I use the whole, thank you so much, Bella, I appreciate that. I use the whole leaf aloe, and that's all I use for my skin. If I feel like the aloe is not really moisturizing, I'll put a dash. When I say a dash, I mean a pinch of coconut oil, a pinch, because once again, my skin is real sensitive. I can't use anything too heavy that'll clog my pores and cause breakouts. So I wash my face with and I have, like I said, I got a tutorial on all of this that shows you the whole process step by step, from me being in the shower washing my face to me cutting the aloe and how I extract the gel from the aloe leaf, put that on my skin. I'll put dip the tip of my finger in the coconut oil, put that on, I rub my hands together, and then I just go like this, and that's it. Because I can't have too much oil on my face. And then sometimes even after that, I'll just take some cold water and splash a little cold water on my face and then pat dry real light, just to even get some of the excess oil off of the coconut oil. And that's all I use on my skin. So baking soda and turmeric to wash, aloe vera, and a little bit of coconut oil sometimes to moisturize. But that's been my go-to. And like I said, I don't wear makeup or nothing like that because my skin is extremely sensitive. I do wear lipstick. That's about the only thing I could do. And I still can't even use certain lipsticks. Like I ain't gonna say brands that I tried that didn't work, but I tried some of like the store brands and stuff like that, and I would get bumps and stuff like that around my lips. I can't use that. Only lipstick I could use is MAC or Anastasia Beverly Hills. Those are the only lipsticks I could use. Other than that, that's it. I'll just do pretty much the natural thing. I can't even get I used to get my eyebrows threaded. That would break me out, all kind of stuff. Does the turmeric ever stain your skin? So if turmeric stains your skin, it's not pure turmeric. So that's something that we have to be mindful of. Pure turmeric, and I'm talking about pure, like even if you got to go to the store and you got to get the whole turmeric, it looks beautiful. It looks like little orange mini gingers or tiny sweet potatoes or yams or something. It's beautiful. But even if you got to get that and you got to ground it yourself, use that. But it should not stain your skin. Pure turmeric should not stain your skin. I'm talking about I've picked turmeric myself and handled it myself, and it does not. When I was in Bali, I got that on video too, or that's on my YouTube, and it should not stain your skin. Pure turmeric, yes, the root should not stain your skin. So it doesn't stain my skin at all, and I haven't had any problem. And I've been using that for years. I've been using, well, I gotta hit the dusty old trail. I'm at work. Okay, peace, Xavier. Much peace. Enjoy your day at work. But yeah, that's what I've been using for my skin and stuff, and that's what's been working thus far. And like I said, I've been using that for years, and it's done great for me. I'm going back and reading some of y'all comments. Grapeseed and jojoba oil. I tried grapeseed oil. That's a little too light. I love jojoba oil though. But grapeseed oil for me, I didn't really see any major effects or differences in grapeseed oil. And I tried that on my skin and on my hair. And I didn't really see, I didn't really see an effect like that from grapeseed oil. Jojoba oil though, I do feel like jojoba oil moisturizes a little bit, but avocado oil trumps that for me. So what I do is I try not to become a product hoarder. I try not to like hoard too many different products. So if I find an oil that works better than another oil, even if that oil is good, if I find something better, I'm off that. So jojoba oil is good, but avocado oil for me is better. Now avocado oil may not be better for you. So you just gotta like just try it out. But once again, as I said, you don't want to be using too many different types of oil and stuff like that, because just like your skin, too much oil will clog the pores on your scalp and cause your hair not to grow. But yeah, grapeseed oil, not for me. Jojoba oil, I like it, but I found something that's better. What do you recommend as a natural laundry detergent actually clean clothes? Okay, now this is the thing, y'all. So when it comes to my holistic wellness journey, and like natural products and stuff, I ain't get that far yet. Okay, I ain't get that far yet. When it comes to using natural stuff to like wash my clothes and all that, I still use Gain. Okay, I still use Gain. I'm still a bleach fanatic. A bleach. I clean with bleach. I clean with apple cider vinegar. I ain't that deep yet. Okay. I grew up on bleach, okay? And it's a real bad habit too. I bleach everything. I bleach my kitchen counters, the stove. I bleach everything every day. Okay, so I ain't there. I wish I could tell you, mix a little tea tree and orange peels and boil it. Nah, I ain't even about to play with you like that. Have your clothes out here smelling like what the hell? No, I don't play. I use Gain still and bleach for my white clothes, okay? But when I get there, I'll let y'all know. I've tried. I actually got some like organic, yeah, Dr. Bronner's can be used for laundry. I've tried that before too. But that scent, I like the clean smell of Gain, but Dr. Bronner's can be used for laundry, and it does work well. When I run out of my Gain, I use the Dr. Bronner's. Hey, Maya, peace to you. I use the Dr. Bronner's when I run out of my Gain. But yeah, just that scent for me is a big thing. What do you mix the baking soda? What? What do you mix with the baking soda and turmeric to apply to your face? Nothing. I don't mix nothing. I just do baking soda and turmeric. So I got an old, the Talenti's gelato jar. The Talenti's ice cream. I have an empty. Of course, it's empty because I tore that thing down. I have an old Talenti's gelato jar, and in it, I just put the 69 cent of baking soda, 69 cent box of baking soda. I poured that in there, and I put 2 to 3 tablespoons of turmeric. And I say 2 to 3 tablespoons of turmeric, y'all, because I'm black as hell. I do everything by the eye, so I'm estimating that it's about 2 or 3 tablespoons. I measured it the last time, and 2 to 3 tablespoons was enough. But I normally just eye it and I shake the turmeric. But I put that in the Talenti's jar. I close it up, mix it up, boom, 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 and I just pat it. I wet my hands, put it on cheek, forehead, rub, 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 and rinse it off, and that's it. I don't mix nothing else with it. Just baking soda and turmeric. It's a natural exfoliator. That's it. Just baking soda and turmeric. Thank you. You said I'm funny. Thank you. He's 55 years old, started having a difficult time finding sisters with locks in chapter 2. Oh, now, so I'm trying to test, when I say I'm trying to get my auntie to start a YouTube page, matter of fact, I'm gonna screenshot this comment and send it to her. So my aunt is a sister who her natural hair journey, my aunt is in her 60s. Her natural hair journey is just so interesting. I want to interview her, but my aunt is also, she's into makeup and all that stuff. And my aunt growing up was my example of femininity. My mom was a tomboy to the end. So my mom was very like gangstress. You know what I'm saying? So she wasn't like the feminine girly girl. She was jeans, sneakers, t-shirt. My auntie was like the makeup and dresses and natural hair, and she does nails and all that stuff. I'm trying to get my aunt to start a YouTube page, and when I finally can convince her, Tess, I'm gonna post her a lot and shout her out. I want to interview her so bad, but she always like, oh, my makeup not done and all this stuff. But my aunt life is so interesting because she was natural in the beginning of her, she was permed. She was natural and then permed and then natural. Went natural again in her 40s and 50s. She was loose natural. She did a fade, all kind of stuff, and then she shaved it all off and started her sister locks in her 60s. And her journey has just been spectacular. And she said out of all her life, Sister Locks is the best journey that she's ever had. And she always talks about how much she regrets not starting it much earlier. But she does like the rose water and vitamin E oil. She learned how to interlock her sister locks herself. So she retightens her own locks and stuff. I'm trying to get her to start a YouTube channel because I recognize that a lot of sisters and brothers who are in chapter 2 of their life, just also need a community to connect with, to identify, because there's certain things, I'm 29, certain things that, I don't necessarily identify with yet, but my auntie is just such an amazing person that, she would be great with that. So when she does it, Tess, I'll let you know. You just started, so I'm reading, is your name Oil? Okay, but I'm reading your comment. I just started my cultivated locks. I don't know why I can't read today, y'all. I'm Floyd Mayweather today. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Just started my cultivated locks, and I feel that they are coming in a little thing. I want them thicker. Will they get thicker with time, or should I start combining to make them thicker? They will get thicker with time. They're gonna naturally combine on their own. So if you started locks, whether it's cultivated or freeform, they're all gonna start small and tiny. The beginning of my locks, all of them are tinier than look at this. Look, you see how this lock is skinny, and then you could literally see where it went from skinny to thick just naturally on its own, and it's getting thicker and thicker and thicker. This is also another freeform thing. I don't know why this is frizzy. It got frizzy too, but it gets thicker and thicker and thicker. So you can literally see the thin, thick, 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 thick. Your locks will naturally start to thicken up on their own. You don't necessarily have to combine them if you don't want to. They'll start to thicken up on their own naturally, and then some of them will just combine. So you see this right here, where these were two skinny locks, and they came together on their own. Oh, and it was a two-headed dragon. Now it's a three-headed dragon. So they're gonna combine on their own. If you want to combine them, you can, but you don't have to. You don't have to do that. If you want to combine them, you can. I was wrong. Well, I'm wrong, Audrey, for saying I was Floyd Mayweather today with the reading. I am. Y'all saw Floyd struggle with that word epidemic. I'm pretty sure y'all seen that. He had a hard time making it through. But yeah, you don't have to combine them if you don't want to. They'll combine on their own. And then especially if they're about to break off, our hair, y'all, has its own energy. Trust me. So it knows what it needs. So if a lock starts thinning, it's going to be like, oh, no, no, no. Let me come over here with you and marry with you so I can be strong and hold on. Okay? So you don't have to do that. But I will say, if you see that, if you thought I was talking about who? Oh, no, 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 I was talking about Floyd. Floyd Mayweather. Okay, we know he struggled with the reading. But yeah. What I'm supposed to say? I was going to say another name, but he's canceled, so I ain't going to say him. But we know he can't read either. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Seems like you're ready. But yeah. They'll naturally combine on their own. So, you don't have to worry about that. But if you do want to combine it. If you're noticing that your locks are getting a little thinner than what they should be, and you like, oh, I'm panicking, then, combine it. But I suggest that you just let them go. Another question I could be getting is about like the ends of locks. And some people say that they want their locks to be blunted at the end, and they ask me like, what did I do? I don't do nothing to the ends of my locks to get them blunted or whatever. I got all kinds of ends, y'all. So I got some ends that are like blunted. I got some ends that are like straight looking. Some ends that are rounded. And then I have some ends, I'm going to find some that's like loose. Like you see, that got like a little loose curl on the end. I got one that, look. See, this is the end of one of my locks. It's loose. I could literally probably put a finger through here if I want to. Like, yeah, see? I got some ends that are loose. And look, the one that is connected to, this one is blunted and this one is loose. I got all kind of ends. All kinds, so nothing is like really the same. I didn't do nothing to get my locks or to get the ends of my lock. Look at this one. This is a real interesting one. I like playing with this one sometimes. Because this one like kind of looks blunted, but look, it's really almost like a loose curl. Kind of like, this is like a loose curl. This ain't even like a blunted end of a lock. It's really, see if I can get closer. See, it's like a loose curl. Yeah, that's it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't do nothing to get the ends of my locks to look a certain way. So I really don't know how you would get your locks to look more blunted at the end. One sister, she left a comment and said that her locks have developed like a horseshoe type shape. And I'm not sure what that is or like how that looks. But I really like, I don't have no recommendations on that. I feel like as long as it's not breaking off, then it's fine. You know what I'm saying? Let them look how they're going to look. And I just also feel like over time, your ends are naturally going to mat more anyway. So like when I first started out, my ends on most of my locks weren't blunted and stuff like that. Most of the ends on my locks were like loose curled and stuff like that. Thank you so much. You said the one with the curl is cute. Thank you. But most of them were like loose curls and stuff like that. And then over time, they became more blunted. This is the lock I had to cut, y'all. Remember I did that video and told y'all I lost the lock because it had got damaged. This is the one I had to cut. And you see this one kind of looks blunted, but it's cut. I had to cut this one. So I feel like this is going to end up looking like a blunted end, but you never know, But yeah, don't worry. I feel like as long as the end of your lock is not breaking off and it's healthy, don't worry about it. Something I do though, I should have definitely mentioned this. So when I do the avocado oil, I don't necessarily put that on my scalp. I only put that on the ends of my hair. I do moisturize the ends of my hair a lot. I don't clip my ends. Somebody asked me that too. Do I clip my ends? I don't clip my ends at all. I never have, but that's I guess that's also why some of my ends and stuff are like frizzy and loose curled because I don't clip my ends. I never forget when I was in college, it was a sister who had locks and she had been locking since she was a child, and she would clip. She had cultivated locks though, beautiful long pencil-sized cultivated locks, gorgeous, and she cut them all off. She combed them out and then ended up shaving her hair off. But her locks were beautiful. And I remember she would go get her hair trimmed every 3 months, like a person who had like a perm or loose natural hair. Every 3 months, she would go get the ends of her locks trimmed. And she said she'd only cut off a little bit. She was like not even a quarter inch, but she just always kept her ends trimmed. And she said she treats it like loose natural hair. So some people do it, some people don't. I personally don't do it though. I don't trim the ends of my hair. Okay, I'm going back to read more comments. Okay, how often do you pull your locks back? A couple of your locks are thin at the root. So I wear my hair in a lock bun all the time. I wear my hair in a lock bun all the time. A lock bun is my go-to house thing. I use one of these things to tie my hair up, and I wear a lock bun all the time, all the time. So my hair is constantly pulled up. And when I'm in the house, I just don't like to have my hair hanging down all the time. I've been trying to do it more lately just to give my hair some freedom and some time to flow. But when I'm home, I wear a lock bun all the time. And then when I go out, I always have a head wrap on. So my hair is constantly being pulled up. But the interesting thing is, I thought about it the other day, especially with me using this. I thought about it and I was like, I hope I'm not like damaging my locks or nothing like that by constantly keeping them pulled up. So that was a part of the reason that like lately I've been telling myself like, oh, let me kind of wear them down a little bit more. Okay. Yours are short, somewhat flat. Audrey, I want to see your locks. Audrey has been subscribed to me for a while, and I remember when you was talking about starting your lock journey. Send me some pictures of your locks, Audrey. I want to see what they look like. You said what? You're 2 years and 5 months in with the second set. Oh, 2 years and 5 months. And started with 2-strand twists and start retwisting. Now you have flat semi-free forms. Oh, that's beautiful. I know that's beautiful. Flat semi-free forms. You started out with 2-strand twists. So that means that they have like uniformity in size, but they're still flat. I know they look gorgeous. You're 5 weeks in. Started March 1st. Okay. Hey, girl. 5 weeks in. That's lit. All of your ends are frizzy and kind of loose. It's annoying in a way. Yeah, some of the ends, sometimes your ends are frizzy, but over time they'll start to blunt. They'll start to mat more and they'll become more blunted. Just leave them alone. Don't clip them or nothing like that. Just leave them alone. Your hair is so much healthier now. Yes, I'm so happy for you. That's the thing. So if you start taking care of your hair and stuff like that, use natural products, your hair will start to reflect the work that you are putting in it pretty quickly. The more natural products you use, the better, hands down. You feel like your roots are getting thin. If your roots are getting thin, what are you eating? Check your diet. Mind your diet. If you feel like your roots are thinning, mind your diet. I always show y'all, and a big thing with me doing lives and like talking about my locks is I want everybody to learn from my mistakes. I always show y'all how in all of my locks, I have a thin spot. Look, see? 2 different locks. You see this same area is thin. That came from a period in my life where I was not eating well. I was not eating often enough. I wasn't well. That's when around the time of my lupus diagnosis, I was very sick. So I wasn't eating a lot. I wasn't drinking a lot of water. I was not doing well health-wise. And I can see the difference in all of this. Is even a thicker lock. And right here in that same spot, I can see where my locks are thinner. So that, it's directly related to my diet. If you notice that your locks are thinning at the root, 9 times out of 10, your diet is not well. You want to make sure that you are eating your vegetables, drinking a lot of water, consuming a good amount of fruit. Fruit is still sugar. It's healthy sugar, but it's still processed in the body as sugar. So with fruit is like, I always say sparingly, but a good amount of fruit. You know what I'm saying? And then, but your vegetables. I can't say that enough. And then also just make sure you are getting enough protein. Our hair is bonded from protein, so make sure you are getting enough protein. I'm not a meat eater, but I'm very conscious about the amount of protein I get. I try to consume a lot of beans, a lot of nuts and stuff like that. So make sure you are getting your protein in, okay, because that's how you build stronger hair and stronger nails. All right, so if you notice that your roots are thinning, check your diet. Are you drinking enough water? Are you eating enough vegetables? Please check your diet. You're only 4 months into your semi-freeform journey. Do I have any kind of tips for maintenance when you are in the beginning stage of locks? Beginning the stage of locks, leave them alone. Cleanse your scalp with witch hazel. Wash your hair once a week at least. Once a week at least. Beginning stages, you want to keep them as clean as possible. The cleaner they are, the faster that they will lock. So keep them as clean as possible and use a little bit of oil. You don't want your hair to be dry, but you also don't want it to be overly moisturized, or you're not going to see it matte together. Freeform locks in general is just matted hair. If your hair is too moisturized, it's not going to mat as easily because it's slippery. So it's just going to naturally detangle itself. You want to keep it at like a good medium stage where it's not too dry, but it's also not so oily that it won't mat. So keep it very clean, but then put a little bit of oil on it. One oil is good enough. So you can use the growth formula that has like the Jamaican black castor oil and some essential oils, but only a little bit of that. And then you can mix that with water or rose water to kind of loosen it up some if you don't want it to be so thick. But yeah, just make sure that you are definitely like doing what you got to do to keep your locks clean in the beginning. Clean locks equal fast locks. And that's just as plain as I could put it. Clean locks equal fast locks. Um you had Sister Locks for 10 years. Yes, I love Sister Locks. Sister Locks are so beautiful to me. I just don't have the patience to maintain that, but they are so gorgeous. So gorgeous. Greetings, you are late to this live, but what is the best way to freeform? Trying the sponge method. You contemplating two-strand twist. So the sponge method I'm not a fan of because the sponge method breaks your hair off. So I'm not a fan of the sponge method. I wouldn't recommend the sponge. I wouldn't recommend the towel or none of that. That breaks down the bonds in your hair. The best way to freeform, my recommendation is just to let it go. You're gonna have patience though, because it may be anywhere from 6 months to a year before you start to really see a difference. But I just really recommend to let it go. No sponge, no towel, no none of that. Just let it go and let it be, and you'll see that your locks will develop on their own. Don't do the sponge and stuff like that because it's, once again, it breaks down the bonds and all of that. If you want a two-strand twist, I recommend that as well. Start out with two-strand twist. If you want a more uniform look, start out with two-strand twist and then you can freeform from there. But you just got to do what's best for you, but don't do sponge and towel and stuff like that. That breaks down the bonds. Even if you don't necessarily at first start seeing the hair on the sponge or the towel, I'm telling you, you breaking down the bonds. That's friction. That's breaking down the protein bonds in your hair, which will eventually cause your locks to break off. If you look at a lot of people, I ain't gonna name no YouTubers, but there's a couple YouTubers out there who started out with the towel method, and then you'll see down the line that the ends of their locks start looking real thin and brittle and stuff like that. That's because those bonds was broken down in that early stage. You know what I'm saying? So just be mindful of that. No sponge, no towel. Just let them go. Let them go. You decided to stop separating altogether. They just marrying. They just marrying away. You're gonna have 12 big ones in a few years. Honestly, I'm also feeling like that too, girl. I'm feeling like eventually I'm just gonna have a few big locks, but I'm also not opposed to that either. That's just to me a part of the journey, you know. But I am noticing, like, even like right here where I got these. But then they recently started combining, so now this is just one lock. And I'm noticing that I'm having a lot more locks marrying like that, and that don't bother me. I feel like if I was to keep this set my whole life, I feel like by the time I'm 50, I'm too gonna have about 12 big locks, you know. Um, Let me see. How do you apply the witch hazel? So you can apply the witch hazel. You can put a little bit on a washcloth and use a washcloth and rub it in your scalp. Just try to get in there. If your locks are very much congoed and you like, it's certain places where I can't really fully access my scalp, I use a Q-tip and I put witch hazel on the Q-tip and I go up in there with a Q-tip and try to get as deep in my scalp as I can. Or I just put a little bit on your fingers and just really massage it onto your scalp. That's how I apply the witch hazel. But witch hazel is very good for cleansing off the scalp. It's healthy for the hair. It's not like alcohol. Some people confuse witch hazel and alcohol because they come in similar bottles, look the same. It's not alcohol. You can Google the benefits of witch hazel and cleansing the scalp with witch hazel. It's amazing. Eat fruit full of fiber is important. Absolutely. Yeah. Fruit for fiber is important. I agree with that. First one Freeform, and I had color damage from coloring my hair beforehand. Yeah, I used to. So my first year of locking, told y'all I started out from bald. As my hair grew in and I had like a Caesar, I dyed my hair. So you'll notice like the tips of all of my locks are a little lighter. You see, my whole first year of locking, I was dyeing my hair. I haven't really noticed any difference, but I'm very conscious about keeping my hair moisturized and oiled. And then recently I put up a video about that too, showing y'all how I dyed some of my locks in the front. So like this whole front section you see is dyed. And I showed that on video how I dyed this front section of my locks. And I haven't noticed any difference. I'm very conscious about keeping them moisturized though. But yeah, I don't recommend dyeing your locks. It's not something I recommend. I tried it fully understanding that could potentially be damaging my locks. Fully understanding that I could be potentially damaging my locks, and also fully understanding that I would have to work harder to keep my locks moisturized. So I do not recommend dyeing your locks, but I also don't advise against it. My only thing is, if you are going to dye your locks, just please understand that it's a lot of work that goes into maintaining dyed, especially bleached hair. It's a lot that goes into it. You said I'm a vegan, but I don't take any vitamins like B12, so maybe that's why it's sitting at the root. Okay, so if you are a vegan and you don't take supplements, take some supplements, princess. Please take some supplements. Being vegan and vegetarian, pescatarian is great. I myself have a restricted diet as well. I strive to eat like a vegan. I eat fish occasionally, like once in a blue moon, but I very much eat like a vegan most of the time. So I don't subscribe to any one specific label, but I do live a vegan, vegetarian, somewhat pescatarian lifestyle. But I do my teamy greens, and I know my sisters got me together last night. They was like, sis, you were talking about these teamy green supplements. My sister said she went on the website. She was like, sis, that shit is expensive. And I do understand that teamy is a little expensive, but really like look at the benefits of it, y'all. And that's why I had the 20% discount code, because it's pure, organic, non-GMO. I read the ingredients. It's like broccoli, spirulina, wheatgrass, everything you could think of is in that teamy greens. So it's a great supplement. I feel a huge difference. I really do. I was the type of person who I wasn't taking vitamins and stuff like that before either. And I would constantly feel very lethargic and tired and stuff like that. And I do herbs on a daily basis. But I realized that even with me doing certain herbs, I still like the herbs I do like sarsaparilla, pardiaco. I do a lot of mint, a lot of peppermint, ginger, cinnamon, bladderwrack. I do a lot of hyssop. I do a lot of horsetail. Horsetail is also a good herb for hair growth and healthy nails and stuff. A lot of horsetail, stuff like that. A combination of different herbs. I drink tea all day, every day. But I noticed that I still wasn't getting the full vitamins and nutrients I needed. The teamy greens, y'all, it's expensive, but it's worth it, and it does last a long time. It does, and I'm not getting paid for this sponsorship. I'm telling y'all, like it's something that I genuinely use, and I know that, like I said, it's a little much, but it's all natural, and that's what I love most about it. But yes, if you aren't getting your proper vitamins and nutrients, you will definitely notice. You'll definitely notice a difference. Okay, hold on. I'm going back and reading more comments. Liquid vitamin D3. Yeah, vitamin D is important. I had to start doing vitamin D as well. I don't do it like I should though. I really don't. I have prescription vitamin D from my doctor. And you're supposed to take it like once a week. I really don't be doing it, y'all. But I do my Timmy greens, and I do a lot of herbs and stuff, and I do stand in the sun consciously. Quite often. Okay, I answered how do I apply the witch hazel. I'm gonna post this live too, even though it's long. I'm gonna post this so y'all could go back and anything y'all may have missed. 2 months in and love it. Hey, shout out to your 2 months. That's dope. Enjoy the journey and stay patient. Stay patient. You said I'm 33. Wait, oh, you started with 33 locks now. You're at 36. Oh, some of your locks separated. You started with 33 and now you at 36. Some of your locks separated. That's what Mommy Monv. Some of your locks separated. What do you think about greasing the scalp with grease? Your hair loves grease. That's the only thing that stops your itchy scalp. Okay. Now that's the thing. Everybody is different. So I personally would not grease my scalp with grease. Grease for me, for my scalp, is a little too heavy. But since I was young, I've never been a person who struggled with dry scalp. I've always had excess oily scalp, which also attributed to my very sensitive skin. So I've always struggled with the opposite issue. So grease for me is too heavy. I personally cannot use grease, but if you notice that grease works well for you, then use the grease. You know what I'm saying? Use the grease, because I do understand that, some people do have dry scalp, and grease may be the only thing that is thick enough and strong enough to handle the dry scalp. I will say though, try the growth formula with the Jamaican black castor oil, the eucalyptus oil, tea tree, the lavender and peppermint, and tell me how that works. I personally, you said, what is witch hazel, Natty? So witch hazel is a astringent that you use to clean. Witch hazel can be used for skin. It can be used for cuts and wounds. It's an antibacterial. It's great. But you can buy witch hazel out of like CVS. Same place you can buy alcohol peroxide, they'll have witch hazel. So you'll see, if you go to the alcohol section, you'll see witch hazel. You could go, like, if you live in the South, you could go to Walmart or something like that. I don't know what's the store. I've never been to the West Coast like that, so I don't know what's the stores in like California. I've been to the West Coast, but I ain't never go grocery shopping, so I don't know what stores in California. I know the North and the South. So if you live like down South, you could go to Walmart. You could go to CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens, anything like that. I'm pretty sure they got that out on the West Coast too. But y'all saw I did the elbow. Healthy. But yeah, you could do like CVS, Walgreens, all of that stuff. But you can't. Witch hazel is in any store where you can find alcohol and peroxide. You should be able to find witch hazel, but it's great to use for cleansing. But as far as the grease, like I said, if grease works well for you, definitely use the grease. I can't use it because it's too much for me. But yeah, use the grease. What do I think about rose water? I love rose water. I love it. You can make rose water yourself. You can actually use witch hazel and put dry rose petals in it and make your own rose water. Sit it in the windowsill. I actually have photos of a beautiful lemon rose water that I made. I put it in a glass jar, and it was beautiful. I don't know. I ain't got that Rona, y'all. I'm just coughing, okay? Don't worry. I slept with my AC on 65 yesterday. So I woke up with a little cough today. I turned the AC off now. You started with 2-strand twists, Nene Johnson. You washed them after the first 3 weeks. But now it was about 3 days. About 3 days a week, okay. Yes, rose water, little vitamin E. Is it expensive? Is what expensive? Is the witch hazel expensive? Witch hazel is very cheap. You should pay like $1 something. Same price as alcohol or peroxide is what you'll pay for witch hazel. You should pay like $1 something for the big bottle. Same way like alcohol or peroxide. For the big bottle, you should pay like $1 and some change, $2 max. Witch hazel is not expensive at all. A lot of people don't even use it, but it's great. I grew up on witch hazel. It's great. Vegan for 8 months and half thinning hair for the last 3 years around this time of year. Around this time of year, it could be because seasons change, and pollen is also very damaging for the hair, y'all. It really is. Pollen is thick right now, and it's very damaging. Me and Yanni. I've heard a lot about Yanni. Yanni is actually one of the people that my aunt also loves as well. I haven't checked out any of Yanni's stuff. I think it's Yanni the loctician, right? I haven't checked out any of her stuff, but my aunt loves her. So I want to go view some of her material, just to support the sister, but my aunt loves Yanni. Good evening. Hey, Daddy. Okay, I answered the what is witch hazel. What? Put in the spray bottle, okay. Natty, I didn't know you live in Canada. Natty. I want citizenship. I want health insurance and a better president. Welcome me to Canada, Natty. I'm trying to be over there. Yeah, Jamaican black castor oil is great for dry scalp. Sorry, y'all, I'm burping and everything. Excuse me, okay? I'm over here just being ratchet. Witch hazel for $6. Don't pay no $6 for no witch hazel. What the hell they put in it? Gold? Don't pay no $6 for witch hazel. That's just crazy. $6 for witch hazel is absolutely absurd. You do not need to pay no $6 for witch hazel. Witch hazel is a $2 product, okay? It's $2. Good witch hazel too, okay? It's a $2 product. Don't pay that much for no witch hazel. That's too much, okay? Right, $6. I'll be done. Fuck the clerk, girl. Get your ass out of here, okay? Make me got a boost. Don't do that. $6. That's crazy. You got room for me, Natty? Save me from Trump, Natty. Okay, Trump trying to take our ass up out of here for no reason. I can't do it. Okay, I can't do it. I'm coming to Canada. I got my Canada Goose coat ready. I don't, but I'll get a Sherlin or something. You know, I'm coming to Canada, Natty. Okay, I want my little 2,000 a month. I heard y'all getting 2,000 a month. Although I did research on that, and there are some stipulations, but understandable stipulations. But I think that that's great. I think that's amazing. You know, I'm coming across the border. Okay, I pledge allegiance to the Canada of the United Country of Canada. Yes, you're talking about cat witch hazel. Witch hazel is real. Okay, that's an old school remedy. Old school. My mama used to use witch hazel. My mama used witch hazel on me. Off topic, they're trying to test in Africa. I know, Audrey. But are you surprised about that? They're trying to test vaccines for corona in Africa. I'm not surprised about that whatsoever. Oh, another question I wanted to answer, going right back to locks real quick. So I noticed I get quite a few DMs of people wanting to know what I think about white people having locks. And do I think white people should have locks? Now, I'll just say this. When I started my journey years ago, my first lock journey, that was in 2013, I started my first lock journey. Freeforming was not a trendy thing. There was not a lot of freeformers. And I would never forget, this what prompted me to start my YouTube channel. I would never forget going into YouTube and typing in freeform locks, and nothing but white people came up. Only black person that was up there at the time was this guy named Wise Locks, Zaylock 23, I think his name is on Instagram. He's Wise Locks, which I love him and he's amazing. He was and y'all please go look at Zaylock 23. He's so dope. Support the brother. I've been supporting him since the very beginning. I love him. But it was only him, and everybody else was nothing but white people. Nothing but white people. Yes, y'all love Zaylock. I love Zaylock too. Hey Zaylock with your fine ass. But yeah, the thing about it, the thing about it is white people having freeform locks for me, or having locks in general. I've come a long way with my feels about white folks, okay? I've come a long way. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I used to be very much prejudiced, okay? Racist, okay? I used to have strong feelings. But as I have studied and as have grown, what I've had to realize, and I'm being very conscious about how I word this because I don't want to mislead anyone, we can still hold white people accountable for their history and present behavior because racism still exists. We can still hold white people accountable without harboring hatred. So, because the hatred just kills us and it lowers our vibration. So we can still hold them accountable without harboring hatred or ill feelings. And when I say ill feelings, it's not negating how we feel about what they've done to us, but it's just saying that I don't have to hold on to that, because what I recognize within myself is it was causing me to have a disdain and a uniform view of all white folks. And some people gonna get mad, and I already know somebody gonna comment and be like, "You coon," but but I don't give a damn. But for real though, it's just there are some good white folk. And when I say good white folk, I mean that it's few and far in between, but they out here. Okay? But it's few. I know it's just said it's hard, Queen. I know it is. But it's few and far in between. But I have met a couple good ones in my lifetime. I've met a lot of people who think that they good, but they still got that low-key prejudice shit. You know what I'm saying? It's some good white folk. You know what I'm saying? I met a lot who ain't good. I met a lot who think they good and act good, but low-key, they don't even realize how they still racist and prejudiced and still practice privilege. But then I have met about a handful that who are pure in intention and who get angry too when they think about the shit that their ancestors and that their present day family and friends have done to us, and who are active in helping to change the narrative in their community, not feeling like they got to save black folks, but feel like they have to hold their people accountable. And the whole reason I'm saying this is because in the beginning, when it came to white people having locks, of course I was like, that's cultural appropriation. That's not for y'all. Y'all shouldn't be locking y'all hair. They always want to do what we do. Da 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 da. That's how I did feel in the beginning. Look, some people done clicked out a lot. See, people don't like me to say they got good white folk, but y'all, there's some good white folk out here. I don't know what to say, but it's just my truth and my experience and how I feel right now. Granted, I may evolve and change and we don't know what that'll look like, but right now it's just really how I feel. And like I said, I used to feel like white people should not have locks and that's cultural appropriation and it's wrong and it's not for them. But over time, especially after studying the history of locks is not solely, it started with us and it started with black folk and we know that that's our thing, but because of the culture, because of the religious and spiritual associations, that at the end of the day it has spread so much. So you have Indian people who have locks. You have Asian people who have locks. You have European, you have Greek history. And I explained this in my History of Locks video where the Greeks also had locks. So we started it and we know that we are the foundation of it. And I also recognize white people who recognize that this is a black folks thing, but I don't think that it's something that they should not be allowed to do. I don't mind white folks having locks as long as you acknowledge where it came from. I think the issue with cultural appropriation as a whole, whether if it's music, whether if it's locks, whether if it's what we do, dances or whatever, I think the issue with it as a whole is not acknowledging the root of whatever it is that you're doing. So it becomes cultural appropriation. Thank you so much, Timothy. Much love to you as well. It becomes cultural appropriation when you fail to acknowledge who started it. That's when it becomes cultural appropriation. When you fail to acknowledge the beginners, the roots, right? That's when it's cultural appropriation. I think that it's not cultural appropriation if they acknowledge that I get this hairstyle or I was inspired to start locking my hair from black folks. And they acknowledge that the history of locking comes from us. Then to me, it's not necessarily cultural appropriation. As long as you pay homage to the creators and the founders, it's not cultural appropriation. I think if we want to talk about cultural appropriation, and you got like the Kardashians, of course, would be a great example, and it's always the go-to example. So I hate to even wear them out or give them acknowledgement in that way. But like with the mini buns thing and the boxer braids, right? The issue with that is that they were taking credit for these hairstyles, and never once did they say I was inspired to do this by black women. Or shout out to all the black women that's been wearing cornrows since the beginning of the times. Shout out to all the sisters who've been rocking Bantu knots. And it would have been dope if those white folks and those white mini bun rockers would have said, actually, these are not mini buns. These are Bantu knots that were started by black women for centuries and centuries and centuries. That's when it wouldn't be cultural appropriation. If you just acknowledge the folks who started this, it wouldn't be cultural appropriation. We'll be like, all right, girl. Because black folks is kind. We always inviting somebody to the damn cookout, which I can't stand. But we're very kind and loving and welcoming. That's what got us fucked up in the first place. Because we are so welcoming and we welcome everybody in. As long as you show us love, we show you love too. So I just think that if they showed us love, without a doubt, we would show them love too, and it would be no problem. But that's just my response to what do I think about white people having locks. I don't give a damn as long as you acknowledge who created it and who started it and who inspired you to do it. That's just how I feel about that. I'm about to close out, y'all, but I just want to go back real quick and read y'all comments. Much love to all of y'all. I appreciate the positivity and the support as always. As long as they never say it's just hair. Yeah, they better not ever say it's just hair. They can't do that. They can't do that. Okay. Also, a book that I read too. I forgot the name of the author. She's a beautiful sister though. But it's a book called The Reason Why I'm Never Talking to White People About Race Again. And it's a beautiful book, y'all. And that helped me really kind of like sort through some of my feelings that I had about, white folks. And, because like I said, y'all I grew up with a very militant granddaddy. My granddaddy is militant to the core, okay? So growing up, my granddaddy was very much of we don't fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? So I really had to undo, like deprogram a lot of that thinking because I realized how I didn't fuck relationships and all that stuff. I realized how it just didn't make me feel good. I didn't like looking at anybody. I don't like looking at nobody and automatically having bad negative feelings about nobody. I don't like that. So I had to check myself and realize that if I want to manifest this love and I want to put love and light out there, I can't be claiming to be love and light, but I don't fuck with these folks. I can't be claiming to be love and light, but I don't like these people. I'm love and light until it come to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that. So I had to check myself. And that was one of the books. Once again, the book is called Why I Will Never Talk to White People About Race Again, or something like that. Why I Will Never Speak to White People About Race Again. I forgot the name of the author, but I'm pretty sure if you type it in, it's a great book. Another book I'm reading right now, I started today, is Alicia Keys' More Myself. I just started it today, and y'all, the book is amazing. I have the Audible version of it. The book is amazing, you guys. It truly is. Like, she on the Audible, she starts out the Audible version playing piano. She's narrated it herself, and it's narrated by her, Jay-Z, Michelle Obama it's like the book is dope. So check out Alicia Keys More Myself. She just recently dropped that, and if you know anything about Alicia Keys, aside from her, I don't want to get into her marriage life. I know some people stop messing with her because of that or whatever. I don't know. But the book More Myself is about her journey as a Black woman and coming into herself as a Black woman. So that's something that I'm reading right now. But yeah, I'm out, y'all. I said that this was supposed to be all about locks, and I done talked about white folks and reads and all that stuff. But I'm out. Much peace and light to y'all. Thank you, Bella. You stuck around the whole time, Bella. This has been a long one, girl. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate all y'all. Audrey, Mommy Monvi. I hope I'm saying your name right, Mommy Monvi. What, Queen, I don't like it. White girl had locks yesterday at the grocery store. Already hot about COVID. So you already mad about COVID and you seen that white girl with them locks and it set you off. I cannot. Shout out to lovely Sheree. Miss Nene Johnson. Shout out to you. Hope, as always. Always much love. Pretty Locks, hey. Tanisha B, much love to you. Natty, of course, it's always love, Natty. I appreciate you for welcoming me to Canada. Deborah Johnson, much love to you, Deb. Always love. Timothy, shout out to you. Fatima, I hope I'm saying your name right. I hope it's Fatima, not Fatima. I think it's Fatima though. But I love your name, Fatima. Much love to you. Erratically Reg, peace to you as well. Muhammad, much love to you. Black Cocoa Brown. Oh, I like that name. Black Cocoa Brown. That's cute. Pretty Locked. I said you. Much love to you. Lyron. Hey, Lyron Kelly. Much love to you. As always. Shauna. Yes, Shauna Carmel Leo. Ow. I love names that make you want to be like this. That's cute. I love that. Levon Thomas. Much love to you, Levon. I haven't seen you in here in a minute. Much love to you, Levon. Yeah, I think that's everybody, or as much as I can do right now. I'm trying to scroll. Kim C, much love. But thank y'all so much for supporting. I appreciate y'all as always. And I'll be back soon. If you have any other lock questions and stuff like that, just leave it in the comments and I'll get to it. Try the growth formula. Don't Madam CJ Walker my shit, please, and start selling it. If you do, just give me a little piece. Give me a little coin, a little 10% or something like that. That's it. That's it. I ain't dealing with you with these white folk. Oh, you say, oh, you came from Mississippi. Oh, that explains it. You from Mississippi. M-I, crooked letter I, crooked letter I, humpback I. I wonder if Mississippi people get tired of that. Shout out to Good Times, Florida Evans and Walona. Shout out to Walona. Much peace to her. But yes, much love to y'all. I'm out. I'm going now. Peace, y'all. Crooked letter I.